How's it going, everyone? Sethphir here, and welcome back to another Tower of Fantasy video. Today we have a lot of updates on the Artificial Island 1.5 patch as it has been released, and we found many cool things to explore, and I wanted to share some of those things with you. So this is going to be day 38 in the Ultimate Guide series, and let's go ahead and get into the good stuff. So first, let's talk about Artificial Island. It turns out we are getting 3 times the material that roughly the Chinese version was getting, so we are getting fast-tracked in terms of materials on the island. We are gaining quite a lot, so it seems to be a very big increase, and I expect this to continue into the future because it looks like we're trying to catch up to 2.0, and we're trying to catch up to the current content within the Chinese version, which is good to see because we're going to be able to sort of experience all of this, but it won't take too long. There's going to be no content drought. So that's very good information to know. Hopefully you have started upgrading your base. If you have, you should have a level 4 main base and level 3 servant houses at this point. And if you have done that, you are all caught up and ready to go for the next week. You'll be compiling materials and everything. So just make sure that you've wiped out literally everything on your island and you are good to go for that. And then you can head into the cool stuff. So let's start talking about that. The open world exploration on Artificial Island. There are many things to find, including this little dragon man flying around behind me, but also a lot of exploration secrets. There's a secret quest line for the developer's log, as well as some quest line that allows you to unlock the outer isles. So if you haven't seen that, you can go over here and take a look, but there's the Artificial Island progress bar, and then the outer isles progress bar, which has its own set of rewards. So you're talking about all these little islands surrounding the Artificial Island. So there's tons of content as well as secrets to explore, like hidden quests and quests that unlock certain things. So you're going to need to find a lot of this, and you're just going to have a good time in general exploring this island. It's definitely going to be a blast. We'll start talking about some more guides for things like that when we get a bit more towards the future, but I wanted to let everybody explore on their own for a day or two and just kind of get that new shine going. And then once we get into that, we'll start talking about the developer log series. We'll start talking about how you unlock the outer isles, and we'll have a bunch of good information coming on that, so be sure to be tuned for it. And in addition to that, I'm sure a few of you may have noticed, we also have these portals, as you can see one behind me here. These small little transmission gates are going to give you gold dust. So if you're interested in legendary gear, which I think I am, these small ones will end up giving you purple dust, but the big ones will give you gold dust, so it'll allow you to unlock legendary gear, and it's quite generous. For example, I'll just show you how this works, but you pretty much just hit the start button here, and it summons a bunch of mobs, and then you kill those mobs within the time limit. And that's really what it is. The big gates do have boss enemies. It's very simple. These gates are unique to your person, so once you've done them, then it's over, but you're gonna get crystal chunks as well as energy dust for the appropriate type, depending on how big that gate was. So that's something nice to look forward to, because you're gonna be able to get a good boost in gear, and that's massive news for free-to-play players as well as everybody else, because hey, who doesn't need more gear, am I right? That's always gonna be good. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, let's talk about this girl right here, Claudia. Did you guys pull for Claudia? I'm curious, how many stars is your Claudia right now? Who's committed to the Claudia lifestyle? I'm definitely digging her aesthetic. I like her hat, I like her outfit, and her tier 3 for the simulacrum is also really cool. This sort of vampire type style look. For me right now, I'm setting on a 0-star Claudia. I wanted to get a copy of the character, and I'm waiting a little bit because my 2 desired comps are Ice and Volt. So I'm kind of debating and seeing what I want to do with Claudia. We'll see. I might max her. I might not max her. We'll see how it goes. But she's definitely pretty powerful. I think that she's a good character for free to play because at 1 star she kind of reaches her really strong potential that a lot of characters can't do at 1 star, which is buffing damage by 24% with her skill, which is very strong addition to anybody's roster, especially if you're playing low star level. So if you're playing 1 to 3 star level or 0 star, getting a 1-star Claudia is pretty nice because she will add a lot of power to your team. And not to mention that her 1 skill hits like a truck, and so does her ultimate, so it's definitely really nice. And that physical resonance bonus pairs well with the limited character Shiro, the standard character Shiro, which is also something that's a little bit easier to access. So let me know what you got down below. Let me know how many stars your Claudia is. Do you like it? How do you like the matrices? Are you enjoying this increased ultimate damage effect? Have you rolled for it at all? Let me know your thoughts down below. Next, we're going to talk about the Sequential Phantasm. I know we mentioned it before, but this thing is very important. So to find the Sequential Phantasm, we're going to head to the Bygone Phantasm section. And on the tab on the left, you're going to see Sequential Phantasm, and you will see 3 challenges being issued. These challenges come with a reward track, so you'll be able to claim rolls for both the matrices as well as the summons, and upgrade materials for your armor and weapons. So it's going to be nice to try to complete these. I will say they are difficult. These are actually really, really hard. They each have a unique set of challenges. For this one, for example, you need to survive a long time and kill enemies, and when you kill enemies, you get points. And there's just so many enemies on the map, and they try to freeze you solid. There's all kinds of crazy stuff going on here. So it's going to be very difficult to complete these challenges with high points. And the most important things is when you complete these, it's going to add to your Bygone Phantasm rank for the week. So even though I may be lower than somebody, if I complete the Sequential Phantasm, I'm going to increase my points, therefore increasing my rank. Because it's all about the score. It's all about the total battle score on what you have. Your combination of doing the actual Phantasm plus the Sequential Phantasm. So this is going to be a nice way to get an advantage over players who cannot, complete these tasks with specific things. But it also warrants a very big elemental weapon diversity kind of area. I know later on these challenges buff your weapons, so it states in here that your weapons will be buffed to their max star level, but if you have something that's above max star level, then you go ahead and get you get like damage boost per star level you are over the max. So it's kind of a way to equalize it to some degree, but add some advantage for people who have multiple copies of the weapons. It's an interesting system. Let me know what you think about that down below. But I do like the challenges. I think that it's fun trying out different elements, different teams, different things that work. Some of them are just like more like, hey, dodge all these skills rather than do damage. And I've definitely had a lot of fun with this mode. I think that this is a great addition to the endgame of the game currently, which seems to just be increasing every single patch, which is absolutely amazing. So more activities to do, the better. Awesome. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the raids. The raids are also another in-game activity, which are super fun. They are starting on the normal mode at the moment. So the normal mode will be the lowest difficulty, and these will yield you a lot of gold dust. You're going to get 1,200 gold dust. Hopefully you've killed this boss already. If you have not killed this boss, I will be doing viewer raid carries at 5:30 p.m. EST on Twitch. We're going to go on Twitch. So if you head over to my Twitch, go ahead and check that out. We'll be starting at 5:30 p.m. and that's when we'll just be hanging out, talking, and then probably later on, like 6:30, somewhere around there, we're going to start doing some raids. We did viewer world boss as well, so come and check it out. It will be a great time. But hopefully you've been able to clear these bosses because they do have nice rewards. The crystal chunks are fantastic, and the gold dust just allows you to pick whatever legendary you want. So hopefully you roll something good with RNG. And you can see the normal mode listed on the side. So when we hit level 66, we're going to unlock the next boss set, which some of these bosses have crazy mechanics, like you have to kill them both at the same time, and there's 2 of them, and they have like some sort of like, it just reminds me of like old school MMO rating. So this is really cool to see. And eventually we're going to get a hard mode of these encounters, which will definitely step it up a bit. So that should be nice to see that spicy in-game content coming into the future. Now that we have the raids covered, let's talk about one thing I did forget to mention yesterday. There is another event for the supply run. I think you guys probably know this, but it's essentially just the executor training. You just log in and claim it free, but just make sure to claim it. You will get free red nucleus as well as a couple other goodies, so make sure to be on top of that. And speaking of that, let's talk about the Aida Cafe. So the Aida Cafe is very interesting. It's going to refresh at 1 every day. So whatever your server time is, 1. I don't know why it's got a separate refresh from the server, but hey, it is what it is. So the way it works in full detail is that you will get 3 customers every day, and those customers will have certain demands for items. You can try to mix and match and see what kind of items they want, but you plug a food or drink item into each one of these little dishes on the table, 5 total, and then you ring the bell and cash it in and see what kind of points you got. And as you collect the points, you will get very good rewards, including red nucleus, red matrices summons, as well as banners, titles, avatar frames, all kinds of good stuff. Everything you can think of is in here, so you definitely do not want to miss out on this. And I will have a guide coming up very soon for how to min-max this event specifically to show you the best food for each character when they appear within your shop. So hopefully you're looking forward to that. And sneak peek bonus, I know that somebody said they got Cobalt B as a customer inside of here, so that might be a hint at maybe what the next limited character may be. What do you think down below? Who do you think's coming next? Do you think it's Cobalt B? When do you think Lynn is going to come out? What about Ruby? I know a lot of these characters were teased in the trailer, but we haven't seen any like definitive answers on them. But, you know, I gave you my predictions. My predictions is Claudia, and I was, you know, correct on that after Frigg. I think that Cobalt's going to be next. I think that following that is going to be Lynn and then Ruby. That's my predictions. And down the line, it's really hard to say, but I'm really hoping for Saki, but I'm not going to make that guess yet. But that's what I'm hoping on, at least. I'm definitely rooting for that ice composition here. All right, well, that's going to be pretty much everything for the news. Now we'll go into the daily checklist stuff. I'm just going to post that in a text format down below in the description, so you can go ahead and check that out. That will be the speedrun daily checklist, as well as the extra daily checklist and the after all that section, so you can follow along and make sure you're doing everything that you need to do. Okay, well, that's going to be it for this one. Thanks for watching, everyone. I appreciate all of the support. Be sure to check me out live on Twitch today at 5:30 p.m. EST. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for the video, because that will help support the channel and get the word out there, and that means we can keep continuing these guide series and bringing you all the new and important stuff. Thanks for watching. Appreciate your time, and we will see you in the next video.